know some of you guys are going to be freaked out by this. Don't be freaked out, okay? Hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here. Wanted to do a video, kind of a movie review, but more talking about me more than anything, and stuff that applies to me. And yes, I will explain all of this in just a second. So, anyway, I just saw the movie It. I mean, you obviously, yeah, I mean, who does this for no reason? And I felt invested to see the movie It. And the reason why I felt like, you know, I should see it is because a whole bunch of clowns were protesting and getting upset over the movie, and I think the president of the World Clown Association voiced their opinions, saying that a lot of clowns were losing, money because of the movie It, and there was a lot of kids that were, more terrified than before of clowns because of this movie. And I gotta say, that says a lot more about the parents who brought kids to see the movie more than anything. I mean, those are the real monsters, not the clowns. For those of you who did not know, sorry, my nose just keeps falling off. It took me forever. I had all this stuff still somewhere. I am actually a member. I don't know how well you can see this. You can't see that at all. Maybe if I hold it further back. Is it too bright? Oh, here we go. I don't know if you can see that better. Anyway, I am a member since May 1st, 2004 of the World Clown Association. Now, before you guys, first of all, if you guys are freaking out over this and you have like fear of clowns and you're freaking out right now, first of all, you've seen me in other videos. You know what I look like. Why is this and just these two things freak you out? Okay, this is too little of something to freak you out, okay? It's the same guy. I'm just covered in weirdness right now. Yes, I used to be a clown when I was probably about 13, somewhere between 13 and 16, maybe 12 and 16. I was a clown for a couple of years. I went to the Slapstick Clown Alley, which was kind of a training clown get-together kind of thing in Louisiana. I'm actually just going to take this off. This is actually just driving me crazy. That's why I hated this thing. And when I was really young, obviously I never had a fear of clowns. And I wanted to, be a clown. I wanted to be a performer. And basically, I wanted to be a performer more than anything. And any avenue for performing, I basically, tried out. I did clowning, I did stage acting, I did puppeteering, I got into singing and musicals and stuff like that. Obviously, I went into stand-up comedy later on, acting in film, voice acting. So pretty much, there's a lot. I even did magic and stuff like that. So almost any avenue, any venue for comedy or performing, I saw it when I was much younger, including clowning. I didn't have any photos of what I looked like when I was younger doing clowning, but my clown name was Marbles. That was it. There you go. Maybe when the second film comes out, I'll show you guys what I look like. And I forgot what the makeup was, so I knew there was like little triangles underneath the eye and there was something with the mouth, and I got really close, and I haven't done this in forever, so it looks like shit. It looks like absolute nonsense. But anyway, so and I have to say, first of all, movie review of the movie It. I actually liked it. I actually thought it was a good movie. It wasn't scary to me. Now, it probably was horrifying to people who have a legitimate fear of clowns, which is an irrational fear, by the way. It's categorized as an irrational fear. It's not a rational fear, okay? It's irrational. Fear of snakes is probably more in the rational category because there's more of them that can kill you than clowns. So I just saw it as like just a thriller and just a suspense and just, like a creature feature kind of movie. And I liked the movie. It was good. It was well written. It was very well acted. It was dark. It was gritty. I was there with Steven, my brother and roommate, and and we were there, and there's one line that Pennywise says, and we just laughed. We just laughed. Steven's not a big fan of scary movies. I am within a certain degree. Not jump scare movies. I'm not a fan of jump scare movies, but I liked Paranormal Activity. I liked, what was it? Sinister? It's not Sinister. Anyway, there's certain kinds of horror movies that I like, and they're ones that are not jump scares. They're ones that are, psychological or, really get you to think or well written. Those kind of scary movies I enjoy. But this one wasn't really scary to me. And there was like, I don't know, there wasn't that many people in the theater with us, and nobody would jumped out of their seat. There was one lady that was like right beside me that was kind of like digging in as like suspenseful scenes, like kept building, like she just kept sinking in her seat. She clearly was not a fan of like the buildup, but she never like jumped and gasped and screamed. Nobody did that. Not saying that people won't or people haven't, but it obviously wasn't that scary. Now, because I am a former clown, I don't do this anymore. I mean, obviously. But since I was a former clown, I thought I would go and see it and see what this movie actually did for clowns and whether or not it actually hurt clowns. And personally, I would say no. I don't think this movie added to or increased the fear of clowns. People are scared of clowns. Well, not everybody. A lot of people are scared of clowns, and though it's an irrational fear, it actually makes sense why people would be scared of clowns. When I did clowning, no one was ever scared of me because I never covered my entire face. This is pretty much the maximum amount of makeup that I would put on, and the clothes that I tried wearing would just look like regular clothes. It was just bright colored. I never wore the big shoes. I never had a huge hat or a big wig. I had just a regular, it was kind of like a baseball cap. And I tried to dress relatively normal. The shirt that I had was just a regular shirt. I think it had polka dots on it, and it just fit me normal. The thing that actually terrifies people, or puts people off, let's say, is the uncanny valley of clowns. It's the same thing with mannequins and dolls and aliens and monsters and those weird Japanese robots that, China and Japan just have at storefronts that are supposed to look human, but just, hi, konnichiwa, ah! That's probably the most racist thing I think I've done. Anyway, it's the uncanny valley more than anything. Gotta take this off for a second. My nose just keeps sweating and it just keeps falling off. It's the uncanny valley, which means that you're seeing something. And this goes true for video games too. When you see a video game and it's just, they're going for realism and they just don't quite hit it, and it's just ugh. Something about it just makes you ugh. It's the uncanny valley. There is a point when something is getting close to being human or close to being humanoid, but doesn't hit the mark. It's off. And humans, especially as children, one of the first things that they really develop is the ability to identify people and faces and recognize shapes and faces, and, because they identify their parents, and if you're not their parents, they freak out. It goes that far back. So it goes the same thing with human faces. When you see something that's kind of human, but it's off, it puts, it's freaky. It's another one of the reasons that zombies are, terrifying or scary, because they're human, but they're not quite human, or at least not anymore. And that's why a lot of aliens are humanoid. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso, a neck, a head. A lot of them have 2 eyes. They're humanoid, but there's something off about them. It's part of the uncanny valley. And the thing that makes clowns terrifying is they're supposed to be people, or supposed to be an exaggerated person, they're exaggerated people. And so they have over the, big shoes. They wear colors that, don't match. They have big baggy pants, big baggy shirt, huge hat, big wig, and a lot of makeup. And that's another one of the reasons that I didn't wear a lot of heavy makeup on my face. I left a lot of my skin open. I would do this, And this isn't quite, this looks terrible. This just looks like awfulness. I would actually do something around the side of my mouth that would make it look like I was always smiling, but not too much, so that when I did smile, it would look like an even bigger smile. But I still left a lot of my skin uncovered so that you could see that I was human. It was very important to me that people saw that I was still a human. Clowns are just people, by the way. I don't know if y'all know this. Clowns are just people. So what's the ultimate verdict, I mean, of the movie? Do I think it's doing a disrespect to clowns? Not really. I mean, the first one, you know, I mean, that one already went out, and a lot of people are scared of clowns because of that movie. You can talk to anybody, and they go, why are you scared of clowns? And they'll say, because of the movie It, because of the movie Poltergeist, or because of John Wayne Gacy. And all three of these things, I mean, there's other movies. There was what was it, Clowns from Space, or Clowns from Mars, or something like that. And then there's actually a movie fairly recent called Clown. And I'm going to cover all these. Not a single one of these movies, by the way, have a clown. Not a single one. None of them are clowns. Clowns are people in costumes. That's literally what they are. None of them have those. Okay? Pennywise is one of its shapes. It is a interdimensional, if you don't know the book or don't know the backstory of the movie, where have you been? It is a interdimensional, it's a creature from the Macroverse, the space beyond our universe. And it's a deity of chaos. I'm summarizing it really horribly, I know. There's going to be people like, oh, actually, is it there? But that's what it is. And Pennywise is just one of its, Pennywise the Clown is one of its favorite forms. And I'm going to explain why that's reasonable, why I think it made a good choice of using Pennywise as like its preferred shape. But ultimately, the creature in the book, It, takes a lot of other shapes, and it does it in the movie. I think both the movies. Both the miniseries and the recent movie. It takes a lot of shapes, and it takes the shapes of things that scare the people. And the reason it does this is because this creature eats and feeds off people, kids mostly. I think because they're like veal. And fear salts the meat. I think it's actually, fear is like salting the meat. I think it's actually in the book where it actually says that. And so it will take place of the things that the kids fear. And in the book, it takes place a giant bird, a werewolf, a leper, a lot of things. But Pennywise is the one that it prefers and stays the most. And the reason I think that's actually clever and actually reasonable is because, number one, it's very distinct and very unique looking. So if you know of the creature, and you know that it's after you, and you see that thing, you know what it is. And you're actually terrified because you know that that's it. That is it. That's the thing. Nothing else looks like that. It's off-putting. It's the Uncanny Valley. That is it. That's the thing. So the reason that it would stay in that shape after these, the majority of the time after these kids have seen it and know what it is that now it's a triggering effect. They see that clown. They see Pennywise. They know that thing is there. And so they're scared of it, not the clown. Now, what's funny is that this book takes place in a universe that didn't have this book, that didn't have It, that didn't have the miniseries and didn't have the movie, which is really funny because It, for a lot of people, the original miniseries and the book is actually what made people scared of clowns. Yeah, a lot of people today are scared of clowns because of It and the miniseries and the book and all this kind of stuff. So, in the universe of the book of It doesn't exist. So there would actually be a lot of people not scared of clowns. It's weird. Now, let's talk John Wayne Gacy. It's unreasonable for people to say that I'm scared of clowns because of John Wayne Gacy. Yes, John Wayne Gacy was a serial killer. I think it was in the 70s? 60s or 70s. And he was a party clown. He dressed up as a clown for kids' birthday parties. That was one of the things he did for money, and just 'cause he liked it. And he was a serial killer. One of the things that always kind of struck me is that no one is homophobic because of John Wayne Gacy. But people are scared of clowns because of John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy never dressed up as a clown to kill people. Neither was the clown persona part of his MO or part of his serial killing. He did, however, go out and seek out young male prostitutes, gay prostitutes, kidnap them, and kill them while not in the clown costume. Like, if you're saying... It would be unreasonable to be scared of homosexuals because of John Wayne Gacy. So I think it would also be, and actually more so, unreasonable to be scared of clowns because of John Wayne Gacy. Now let's go on to clowns from outer space. They're not clowns, they're aliens. They just look like clowns. Yes, they're clown-themed and they do a lot of clown-based stuff, but technically they're aliens. Doesn't count. Poltergeist, that's ghosts. You're scared of ghosts. You're scared of poltergeists. It's a doll possessed by a ghost that attacks a kid. It's not a clown. It's a doll. Moving on. So a lot of these movies, and also a clown, the one that was fairly recent, it's a demon. It's a demon that just looks clownish. It's weird. It just looks clownish. Now, there's probably other ones where it is an actual clown, a guy who actually puts on clown makeup to kill. But here's one thing. The most popular, the most famous clown in the world, nobody is terrified of. Nobody. And I'm not talking Ronald McDonald. People are terrified of Ronald McDonald. The Joker. Nobody's scared of the Joker. The Joker is called the Clown Prince of Crime. In the comics, he kills people. Okay? I mean, true, he's also not technically a clown. That's not makeup. That's his skin. But he has a lot of clown themes, and he calls himself a clown, and he's trying to make people laugh. So I'd say you considered him a clown. Nobody saw The Dark Knight and was terrified of clowns. It's just weird how there's like this weird double standard for when it's not a person in makeup. Yeah, it's fine. When it's like something else that's not technically a clown, oh, then we're terrified of clowns. It's just crazy. So I'm going to take this off for the rest of it. So ultimate review. The movie It is actually a really good movie. I don't think it does any damage to clowns because, as I said, I think it's, natural for people to be scared of clowns because of the Uncanny Valley. It's unnatural for people to justify it according to other movies that didn't actually have clowns, but that's semantics. The thing that I take from what I learned being a clown, being a trained clown, is a lot of it I take into all the other performing arts or a lot of the other things that I do. What I've learned being a clown way back when, I actually carried into other things. One of the big things that they taught, one of the big things that they said is clowns are servants. Clowns are there to entertain and get people distracted from horrible things. It's actually a clown's purpose is to actually distract or take the focus off something sad, depressing, horrible, or dark, or whatever. That's why clowns work with kids in hospitals. That's why clowns try to, just get people out of their day-to-day life. And clowns are often servants in the sense that their goal is to be selfless. Like rodeo clowns is a prime example. Rodeo clowns are the guys that when the guy gets hit off gets just bucked off the bull, it's rodeo clowns that go in to get the bull's attention so he can get away. They're just facing down a gigantic beast that could just gore them crazy, but they go in to save that other guy's life. And because of their bright colors and their huge, over-the-top actions, they get his attention really quickly, and they get inside a barrel. That's why those barrels exist. So they get inside the barrel, and they just climb in, and that bull can just knock that barrel like crazy, knock it everywhere. And they're going to technically be fine. They'll be dizzy and probably sick, but they're not going to get run through. They're not going to get trampled, and eventually the bull will get tired and just run off. So that was always something that I took with me after clowning, even though I don't really wear the makeup and the nose and the and all the stuff anymore. A lot of who I am now and a lot of what I do on YouTube, what I do in voice acting, what I do in acting, and what I do in comedy, a lot of that came from being a trained clown. More in the sense of being a servant and trying to distract people from the grisly dark of reality. That's why they're over the top. That's why they wear the bright colors. That's why they act over the top. It's because they're more of a caricature of joy and happiness and, you know, childish whimsy. That's why they are over the top. That's why they're like that. Of course, that puts things in the Uncanny Valley, and people are scared of. Some people are scared of them. It's not being scared of clowns is not actually as wide of an epidemic as people would lead you to believe, but there is still a lot of people. So anyway, I'm sorry if this is such a long video. I really had to get a lot of this out. I'm going to try to edit it down as much as possible, but, you know, you can only do so much. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see any other videos or like to ask me any questions involving clowning or the movie It. Leave them down in the comment section below. When the next movie comes out, I might do more of a full costume or might show you the photo of what I look like when I was doing clowning. If you want to see that, also leave that in the comment section below. I'll do that for the sequel. So, anyway, again, movie It, good. Being scared of clowns, irrational, and catch you later. Peace.